My name is Daniel Vias, and I'll be talking about the World Trade Center, the tallest buildings to ever stand, but soon to be the closest to the ground. These are the World Trade Center. This is the North Tower, and this is the South Tower. And their date of completion was on April 4th of 1973. The North Tower was standing at 1,368, while the South Tower was standing at 1,362 feet. They were the tallest buildings at the world at the time. It costed $400 million to build, and if you do that back into our economy now in 2018, it was equivalent to 2.27 billion, which is kind of a huge difference from what we were doing back then. So it was 13 million square feet of workspace, and they had some of the biggest markets in there. And in the North Tower, they had Bank of America with also Port of Authority of New York and New Jersey, which they were basically the main, like, everyone into business with the port of everything, while Bank of America handled the business aspects of financial. And in the South Tower, they had more of the corporations, which were Verizon and the New York Stock Exchange. And before leading up to the big event that happened, there was a bunch of small prior events. There was a bombing on February 26th in 1993, which they were trying to bomb it from a little delivery truck from the North Tower here at the bottom. And this is what it looks like from the bottom, looking up. So in that event, there was a delivery truck, and they were trying to make it blow up so that the North Tower would kind of lose a lean of the thing, a lean towards to hit the South Tower to kind of make it collapse. And also before that, there was a fire in there, and then after there was a bank robbery. So there was a lot of past events that were leading up to this final one. But the design of the building is what really kept it going and always functioning very well. The main leader was Minoru Yamasaki. He was the main architect in it, and he always knew what he wanted. And he made it 110 feet tall. And it really shows up there his type of design he wanted. He wanted to make it unique. And I always liked his design because here it goes from super thin, but through super width, it goes huge. And he also created narrow office windows, which reflected his fear of heights. And it's crazy that he wanted to build the hugest building, since they are the hugest, tallest ones to ever stand. But now we have more taller ones, like the Burj Khalifa. He used steel to create the buildings, and what's something that he always talked about after the bombing with the delivery truck was that he decided to make it into like a bathtub with a little structure at the bottom. So what the structure did was they went 200 feet into the ground and basically poured like cement and like put more pillars right there, so that if there was earthquakes or anything, they wouldn't crack or anything, which I found really interesting because we still do that to this day, but they were doing it back then. The day of, they started building these on 1968, which was the North Tower first, and then after the North Tower, they started with the South Tower a year to follow. And they've always been side to side together, but after the big tragedy that happened, which was September 11th on 2001, there was a terrorist attack, which kind of made all of the buildings collapse here, which was the North Tower and the South Tower. And right here, this is what it looked like. The first plane that struck was the United 93, and they have a bunch of films on what happened with the Twin Towers. So with the Twin Towers, basically the first one that got hit was the North Tower, and then it was the South Tower originally, like an hour after, and the first one fell it fell at 9:43 or 9:38, and it killed roughly around 3,000 people, which is a lot of time, which is a lot of people. A lot of documentaries have been made, like the United 93 and the World Trade Center, which was basically a whole history of what it was and how it started. I really recommend it. That's where I got a lot of my information. But after it fell, this is what they look like. Right here, these are like little memorial things, and if you ever go there, they have like little black linings, and in there they have each person's name who died and whose memory who's been there. So, and that bathtub is kind of what I was talking about. It's like 200 feet deep down in there, and that's what caused the other buildings not to collapse. and it's just like a huge waterfall now. So it's just, and it's reused and reused. But that's pretty much it on how the towers have happened. I think the towers were really good. How they were created, I wish they were still here because I wish I could go to them and show everyone. Um, I got I got all this from an article posted on the History Channel and including the movie. They were posted on December 3rd, 2009.